Hello to all my friends and family, and welcome to this edition of Jim's 5am Club. It's lunchtime, it's Friday, but more importantly it's Good Friday for me. I'm a Greek Orthodox Christian and I'm celebrating Easter on Sunday, and I'm just in the throes of Holy Week. For those who know me well, I've been fasting, and I've been fasting for a number of years. I enjoy fasting and preparing for Easter as best I can. And the last 3.5 days, I just have water. So I commence my fast, my clean Monday, with just water for 3 days and a small meal of nuts and fruit on Wednesday evening, and then 2 more days of water, and then once again a small meal of nuts and fruit, and then I continue the fast with the normal fasting rules. And then the last 3.5 days, so Wednesday 5 p.m, I had my last meal of some basic ingredients, rice, asparagus, and a little bit of bread, I think, as well. But since then, since 5 o'clock on Wednesday, I've just been having water only. So I'm about 43 hours into my 80-hour water fast, and I'm feeling very, very good. As I say, I've been doing this particular type of fast for the past 4 or 5 years. And I know what I can get away with and what I can do and what I can't do. So the first day, as I've mentioned before, is very difficult. The second day is a little easier. So I'm on my second day now. It's a little easier. But the third day, tomorrow, Saturday, where I'll be going the whole day, all the way up until 1 o'clock in the morning with just water, I'll feel absolutely fantastic. Because what happens is your body gets into ketosis, and ketosis means that your body is feasting on ketones and basically getting energy, not from glycogen from your muscles, but from the fat stores in your body. So let's go on a bit of a adventure now, and we'll do a book summary. And the book summary today is entitled How Successful People Think. And it's from a renowned author, John C Maxwell. And he'll give us a few tips, a few life hacks that we can incorporate into our lives. But it's interesting because it's all about the way you think. So successful leaders think in a way which serves them, which empowers them, as opposed to disempowers them. So he outlines 11 kinds of thinking. And what I'll do is I'll go through each of those 11 kinds of thinking and touch on them, and then we'll focus on a few key points from his book. So in terms of the 11 kinds of thinking, he says that leaders are big pictured. They can see the big picture. They are very, very focused. They can focus intently. They're very creative in their thinking and in terms of their decisions. They're realistic. They're strategic. They're possibility thinkers. They always think of what is possible as opposed to what is impossible. They're reflective. They look back, they think, they adjust their thinking so that they can achieve their desired outcome. They're popular. Their thinking is shared. They share their thinking and their ideas with their peers, their teams. They're unselfish, and they always look at the bottom line. So they're always outcome oriented, always thinking about how they can achieve their goal. So they're the 11 kinds of thinking that John Maxwell comes up with. So what I'll do now is I'll talk a little bit more detail about 3 of his key points which come out of his book. So John Maxwell always says that we need to look for learning opportunities in our lives and in our schedules every single day. So at the beginning of the day, you try and map out what you're going to do. But John Maxwell says that each and every day you need to dedicate to learning, to expanding, to pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone. So he says that we must look at our appointments, look at our tasks, and then identify the ones which are going to give us the biggest learning opportunities, and focus some time and effort on those. The next thing he talks about is the importance of creative thinking. And in order to become better at creative thinking and practicing creative thinking is to simply just come up with more options. So when you're coming up with a decision or looking at a problem, this author says that the way you get more creative in your thinking capabilities is simply just to come up with more options. Instead of having 2 options, think of having 4 options or 5 options, and entertain those 5 options, and then decide which 1 or 2 options give you a better outcome. So expand your decision matrix is one thing that John Maxwell encourages us to do. Because what he says, and this is very, very powerful and something that I really, really enjoy. He says that our schooling system, here we have the Sydney 2000 coming through from back in those beautiful days when we held the Olympics. He says that our school system has wired us to believe that there is only one answer to every problem, to every question. But reality teaches us and proves to us that there's always multiple solutions. There's more than one way to skin a cat. There's more than one road that leads to Rome. So take it on board and try and push yourself to be able to look for multiple suitable answers. And then once you've created a group or a cluster of options, then simply identify which is the best option, the option that serves you and serves your organisation and serves your purpose, matches your values, is aligned to your goals and to your cultural basics and awareness. So the last point that he makes in this book is quite confronting, but it's true. He gives us an example, a historical example of what happened to somebody who was very, very successful, very, very successful in his own right. And his brother actually died. His brother died, but the obituary in the newspaper thought that he had died. And the obituary said that the inventor of dynamite had finally been blown away. So he came across this obituary, and it shocked the living daylights out of him because he was successful in his own right. And we're talking about Noble. I think his name was John Noble. But what happened was that his brother had passed away, and the newspapers wrote about his brother thinking that it was him. And once he saw, as I said, his obituary, he got a shock. So the author here tells us one thing that we can possibly do is to just imagine that we found our own obituary in tomorrow's newspaper, what would it say about how you treated others? So what happened was that Noble, the inventor of gunpowder and of dynamite, sat and thought back saying, well, geez, I've done all this wonderful stuff in the world. I've become very, very wealthy, and yet people will only know me as being the person who invented dynamite and are probably happy that I got blown away. So what he decided to do from that day on was to take 90% of his wealth and to donate it to an awards system where he was able to contribute something bigger than what he'd contributed before. And he set up the Nobel Prize system, where he awarded scientists and people who were leaders in their field with grants, with awards, with recognition, so that he could be remembered for something that was far greater than just developing dynamite, and for his legacy to continue into the world for many, many years following his passing. So it was something that I wasn't aware of, that the Nobel Peace Prize and the Nobel laureates were all a gift. They're all based on his legacy. The man who invented dynamite was able to recognize and help those who have come before him and after him be recognized and rewarded for their efforts. So I think I'll leave it there. So thank you very much for joining me on this episode of Jim's 5am Club, where we've just gone for a walk and talk, and we've covered a book summary entitled How Successful People Think. And it's a little bit different to what I thought this book was going to be all about. And actually it was a pleasant realization that this book is a little bit more than just how they think, but it talks about, more importantly, the way that they think and the way they offer their skills and their strengths to the world. So let's finish off now with a positive affirmation. I'm alive, I am well, and I feel absolutely great. To my friends and family, stay connected, stay relevant, stay reasonable. And hopefully we've taken a few lessons from this wonderful book, a few life hacks that can help us get through the day, get through the week, get through the month, the new month that's kicking off tomorrow. So, and as we always say, let's try and be the wind beneath our wings, the wave beneath our boards, the zephyr that bellows our sails, and the turbines that propel our boat, our ship, in the direction that we want to go, and to maneuver us into position so that we can live a life where we can live, learn and pass it on, and to contribute in a positive way to all of those around us. So take care everybody, Yassas, Filakya, happy Easter to those who are celebrating Easter on Sunday, and may we find peace and love with our families and our friends, and to live in hope of the resurrection, and to look forward to the day where judgment comes upon us and we're taken into the fold and we can live as one with God. Yassas, take care, and thank you for being part of this adventure and this episode today. Bye for now.